Yeah, me and Mauricio talked about.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. To the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Hey, g'day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to friends all around the world. Welcome to RGV Aero Photography Starbase Weekly Flyover, episode number 179. Today I have Alex with me again. G'day, Alex.
Hey, Steph. It should be a lively discussion over at Massey's today. So
yes, and we've got Ryan Webber with us today again. G'day, Ryan. Good to have you.
Hey everyone. Yeah, it's time to have some discussion. It's gonna be fun.
And just quickly, we're going to cross over to our producer, Matt. He's going to tell us a bit of promotion about our upcoming special event.
Yeah, so for those who do know and those who don't, we have a St. Jude's fundraising stream every year during Christmas time. And so on December 21st is going to be our St. Jude stream. And this one's going to be a fun one. We actually have some really nice guests lined up. So far, we have Lad Padre is going to be joining us. Tim Dodd is going to be joining us. Marcus House is going to be sending in a video, and Scott Manley will also be joining us. So we've got a stacked lineup so far, and we are trying to get a few more. So we are really looking forward to it. So it's a great cause, and we really hope that you all will join us.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, looking forward to that stream very much. Okay, let's go have a look at Massey's. So this week at Massey's, it's been a little bit slow around the whole rest of the area, Massey's, but we get some, all because of Booster 18 little event. So we'll start at Booster 18. We have some really nice images again this week of straight down inside Booster 18, which is Pretty special. It's some pretty good view of all the new bits and pieces and all the plumbing, which is, I'm no expert. I'm not going to try and explain all these pipes to you all, but in time we hope for some video from some of our creators like Zach and CSI, and be interesting to see their video of this booster's aft. One thing of note, which I can confidently talk about, is the strut system here, and I find there's a better image in the brace that holds the struts here. You can see a main one here to hold the landing tank, and there's another one at 90 degrees over in here. Now there is a better image here somewhere. Just got to find it.
You can use 8502. You can also talk about the pressure line on that thing too.
Trying to get spicy right off out of the gate.
Let's do it.
Oh, there it is, right there next to it. Cool. So there's this nice big new rib in here that supports the struts for the landing tank. Now, Ryan, up you go.
I was gonna say when we look at the top of the landing tank, you can see the pre-pressed line for that tank. It runs there, and then it runs into the COPV. Now, the reason why you don't see anything there is because they've cut that out. It looks like they've disconnected, because basically I think they've disconnected the press line because they want to lift basically the tank section out or something along those lines. That's probably part of the way they want to scrap this thing. So the landing tank is pressurized by the COPVs, and I mean, what you need to pressurize something with all those extra COPVs they have. They have like double the COPVs on this booster compared to the last one.
Yeah. And also from the lock side or the oxygen side on the exterior manifold, it appears there's only 20 taps leading to the outer 20 Raptors for generating that. Unless one, like there's that inner ring manifold at the bottom that Steph she briefly was highlighting. I haven't traced out all the lines yet, if that's related to that or something different or none of the above. So, but methane, it looks like they have all 33 feeding the manifold because it's being routed through the little control box they have along the distribution manifold that runs around the circumference of the booster on the bottom.
See a little ladder here. That'll be an interesting ladder to descend. So you climb into the methane tank hatch and then down the downcomer, go into along the dome and then down the downcomer along that ladder to get down to, I guess, to do the welding down the bottom there.
I just want to say for this transfer tube, that is a lot of extra dry mass for that transfer tube. Like so basically what SpaceX did is they went a 1 meter diameter tube is not enough. So we're going to, and if this is my math is right in my head, we're going to increase the surface area in which the methane will flow in through by 8 times 8. Because if I remember correctly, when you double the radius, it's 4 times the surface area, if I remember correctly. And then
Correct.
Not only that, all of the supports that are down through it. That is a lot of extra dry mass. That's a lot.
It also achieves some other. You shift the center of gravity of the booster upwards by doing it, since you're putting a more buoyant or less dense methane lower down, and that has certain aerodynamic qualities that they may be going for as well.
Petrie in chat saying, anyone work at an exhaust shop thinking, man, I could do this?
I don't know if I would want to climb down in that. I mean, it might be cool, but there's only one way out if you climb down that transfer tube.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Try welding for
It's
8 hours a day and see how much you like it.
Right.
There's lots of photos of B18 this week, but yeah, like I said, around masses otherwise. So any questions about Booster 18 while we've got Ryan and Alex on stream, please feel free in chat to ask plenty of questions. And actually, as they come up, Matt, you're welcome to jump in and tell us any of the questions.
Absolutely.
So, Alex, we were talking about COPVs just before the stream and how some of their failure modes and how some they actually have. It's unlikely for them under normal conditions ever to pop. Can you tell us more about that and what you think about, like, you're talking about fill time and so on with temperatures and so on?
yeah, most of NASA this year they published one of their numerous reports, and in their testing to study, they were using primer cord and also shape charges to get them to rupture, controlled, so that they could see how they delaminate. And when they're actually doing their burst tests, most of them were well over doubles their working pressure. The exception is when you're filling them, they'll heat up just from the nature of compressing gas, and that's most of their surface temperatures do not exceed is around 40 C, 120 degree Fahrenheit. So if they're filling them too quickly, that will have the higher probability of causing failure of the composites to delaminate, because most of the strength in the composites matrix is the binder and the fibers. As soon as things can start moving independent of each other, then you start getting fractures and cracking and nothing good. Similar to when they had the helium tank stored in locks on Falcon that blew up during that static fire was a similar thing. The oxygen got in between the epoxy's cracked, so the oxygen got in, and the friction of filling with the oxygen caused the carbon fiber to essentially catch fire.
So that's more likely that we're fairly certain it was a COP on the outside rather than something internal, because there's shrapnel basically blown through the LOX tank and into the downcomer, so it's very likely it happened on the outside, yeah?
Yeah. And yeah, like on some of their burst tests, they were averaging around 600 feet a second for most of their larger shrapnel, anywhere between parts of the tanks that were a couple kilograms. So it's a non-trivial amount of kinetic energy that they're carrying and that isn't even getting into some of the overpressure readings, just expanding gas.
That's not fast. What? That wouldn't do anything to like 4mm stainless steel, right? Right?
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a couple of kilograms with that's
Nah.
It'll buff right out.
Yep. I mean, we can see the evidence right in front of us. It doesn't do anything to a booster, right?
No,
Right?
and I mean, style points, they didn't need fire to do this one.
Right.
I
do like
see
how
a
they cut
question.
out.
I do see a question about as of right now, what's the state of the booster gone? I think so, eh?
This picture, basically. They haven't cut any more off. But I will say I do like the way they disconnected the common dome. They basically went in and they cut the transfer tube sump out of the common dome, then cut the common dome below it through the locks the lock skin. They lifted the common dome off, and then they took out the top of the transfer tube, which is kind of a cool way to do it.
We should expect them still to continue cutting down the. I guess some more LOX tank might come off next, or maybe some of the downcomers still.
I strip off all the COPVs and such.
Yeah. Then do another cut through here somewhere on another barrel section.
Yeah, they'd take the transfer tube off, and then I would expect them to disconnect and lift out the side tank. Then, depending on how much weight is left, they may just lift out the aft section and set it on the ground, and then start scrapping it and try to get people back into the to Massey's.
Yeah, because at the moment they're still not letting anybody into Massey's, and that's why we're not really seeing any other changes around Massey's this week pretty well at all. Like this excavator, this little tractor hasn't moved since last week. I think over here, these machines over here haven't even moved at all since last flyover.
Everybody got a holiday weekend.
Yep. So as far as reusing any part of booster 18, the only thing I can really see they may use is maybe they'll use those truss struts and the maybe that top ring. It's about all I can see them reusing.
Yeah, it's all bolted together. They could unbolt it all and in theory reuse it, but I mean, we'll see. That's probably that's also probably one of the more expensive parts of the entire that entire part of the booster, because those are all machined, especially the top ring. That's all CNC'd. So that's probably one of the more expensive parts to make. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to save it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that was the most shocking, that was not rolled, that it was completely machined.
There was talk about saving the methane tank in chat throughout the different channels, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Oh, that's a great
So, yeah, otherwise, the rest of Massey's, except for any questions in chat, we haven't really got much to show at the rest of Massey's.
39.1.
Of course, yep. We did have a test article roll out to Massey's in 39.1. And we have this ring here missing, which isn't... I'm fairly confident too that this ring was on 39.1 when it rolled out.
It was.
Yeah.
They would have had to use it to lift it onto the transports, onto the stand, I guess.
Yeah, the other ring that's missing probably went for another test article, because
Isn't that where they built? Isn't that what they built the that new crusher cap on?
No.
No?
That. Yeah.
Oh.
And last week they had started putting the load points on that other rig.
Now comes the task of getting this ready for cryo, and then they have to modify the stand to put in eyelets so they can hook up actuators and the tie rods to then hook in the cap so that they can crush test it on a stand that was never meant to be used for such a purpose, and then demod the whole thing and get it ready for 39.
Yeah, and looking at... Go on.
I was going to say, they're totally launching in a few months. Totally.
Hey, define launch.
Right?
You're gonna get some flack for your pessimistic view there, Ryan, I'm sure.
I mean, I know. Well, here's the other thing too, and this is why I say June. This is why I say it. And even with 18 booster 8, even if they had booster 18, I would have still said April, because like you look at 18.3, they started building a structure on the side to do some sort of testing to it, and they haven't finished it. Presumably, they would want that testing to be done before they fly the booster. Right? At least I would hope.
You'd hope so.
I would hope.
You're assuming that stand modifications are for its test campaign. Maybe they're just...
True.
They're they're multitasking.
Maybe.
So on that, they are assembling some of the steel rods here. I'm still not sure which is going to get a can crusher cap first, whether it's going to be 18.3 or 39.1.
39.1 is far from its stand modifications to take a. There's a lot of clevises that still would need to be welded onto it for the actuators.
Yeah, sure. So it's more likely we'll see that crusher cap on this article.
Well, it's kind of humorous if you look at 39 or 1, how reinforced its aft is compared to one of them looks like it's going to get crushed, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, it looks like 39.1 is going to get crushed. I don't know why else you make that interface on that test tank. Like,
this one, for sure. I agree. I totally agree. But between that ring for an interface plus this, these stringers here for sure.
Whereas the aft is connected to the stand is more of what I was referring to, compared to contrast between the two test articles.
I thought they might reactivate the old nose cone jar, but that's obviously not. This wasn't in my bingo list. The using that ship cry stand as they're using it now as a can crusher.
Well, the other thought that just popped into my head is, are those mounting rings, can they just unbolt them? Because the plate they're welded to is just bolted to the stand on the bottom of the tanks, and lift one off of that and move it to the old cam crusher.
Sure. So that bottom ring, this is not actually welded to the stand, it's welded to a ring that's bolted to the stand.
Correct.
Okay.
And that would almost lead to why they still have the lifting points attached to its cap.
Very good. Hey, lots of pieces of 18 lying around. So last week, I guess you talked about the new static fire stand for probably not for Florida at this stage.
well,
it could be.
It could be for 37 because 37 they just released the final draft too, the final EIS for it, which finally I've been waiting for that thing.
Is it approved or is it just the draft?
It is the final approved EIS. So So the next thing for that is to get the lease signed, and then they can start construction and build the pads at 37. Basically,
Does that include a static fire's trench for ships?
Based off the wording in there, the two catch towers would basically have a ship's testing stand under them, so that they could catch vehicles, but they could also test a ship on them. Basically, so my guess is they would probably build two of these for 37 as well. So they could static fire ships over there because they need a place to do that at Kennedy, and they don't have a place to do it right now.
Yeah, because these stands require, like here at Massey's, a whole flame trench. It's the only place you could use this stand for a ship. Is that correct?
Wouldn't necessarily need a whole trench. I mean, they used to shoot them much closer on the old suborbital pads.
Yeah, but they don't anymore.
I think they would just probably build a trench or two. You could have 4 trenches over at Slick 37, 2 launch pads and 2 ship test stands. I mean, they kind of need it, considering they're going to have at least 3 launch pads at the Cape, possibly more.
Yeah, I just on their docks where they have their sound radiating from essentially the same point.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see them modifying like the staging area next to the current, like on pad B, to expand it on a catch tower to have probably not as substantial as a trench as this, but something in that realm.
something that all you would just do is you'd have your test stands and your launch pads, and it all taps into the same tank farm. So you don't need a
Exactly.
separate system, and you just route it differently depending on what you need, which is actually a genius system to do all in one. But I can't wait to see it get built, or we're a couple of years away from that being done.
Yeah, look at 39A's, the where the shuttle structure used to cross, similar to that, where it's somewhat where you'd have this platform move out of the way.
It could
But
be
a lot of ways to do that.
Okay. Oh, there's a joke here. When SpaceX going to stop using their cheap brand CPOVs? But as you explained, Alex, it's nothing to do with that. It's more about the physics of filling them and so forth.
Or the link, or the valve assemblies, or the tanks are probably secondary to the root causes of all of these.
Okay, so questions and donations, Matt. We don't have a Matt. I'll do it then. So we've got some gifted memberships here. We've got a new member, Gabriel. Welcome aboard. And we've got, scrolling through my feed here, we have Jack's 1986. Not a bad year. Gifted one membership. Good. Congratulations to Troy for receiving that. And we've got Zesty Zomp is shouting out that they've been a member for 10 months. Good on you. Thanks for your ongoing support.
Yeah,
And
sorry
thanks
about
again,
that. Had a
everyone.
little
Happy
family
holidays.
emergency.
It's all good, Matt. So you can go through some questions now if you like.
Basically, you've hit all the questions. Let me see if there is anything you didn't get to. How far is SpaceX from expanding footprint at Starbase/Pad 1 land-wise? Permits and approvals? Like, how's it going so far?
Did the public comment period close? And it's in that 6 to 9 months internal sort of review, I believe, before the draft gets the updated draft gets published, and then that goes a year at minimum.
Yeah, because I know they had some issues. There were I forget which part had issues with the land swap stuff for that. So yeah.
Yeah, one of the agencies is either Army Corps, where it's like, that's fine.
Yeah, a year will be over in no time. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, part of it was sort of hinging on they have two running parallel. One of them setting up the land bank for doing the land swaps, and
Right.
I mean they're piggybacking off of a previous attempt by another company or organization, but it looks like they're starting from scratch.
I have a feeling they'll succeed, though.
COPVs are us.
Yeah, it'll be a rubber stamp.
Eventually it'll happen, but it's probably going to take a little bit to get through.
And the last question that came through is from Kai Nezel. Asks, so this confirms that the transfer tube is the header tank?
It is a transfer tube. Is what it is.
What?
Well, I mean,
no
it's
double
a header
duty,
tank.
or
It's a header tank for
No.
the methane. So kind of. So yeah.
I wouldn't. It's
Kind of, but not really. It's mostly just actually a massive transfer tube. I think there's actually a header tank for the methane at the bottom. But it's hard to know what's at the bottom in that sump, as Stephanie tries to zoom in and see anything.
This
It's a bit dark
the
down
lower,
there.
yeah, the lower angle shots are from last week before they started chaining it together and throwing debris inside was a little better.
Either way, it's basically a transfer tube for methane. It's a gigantic one. That's more or less what it is.
But
It's a tank
nonetheless, it sort of does act as like a tank for not so much, but for landing, I guess, and for the backburn ish.
ish. We'll go with that.
Oh, we've got a poll going on. Next Starship launch: January, February, March, April, June, July, May, June, or July, August. I'm gonna say May, June. I'm gonna go with Ryan on that one. Oh, only 6%. Most people are saying April so far.
Had March.
March, April. They want to get a wiggle on. Okay, so, well, that's our half an hour masses. We did well to fill in now. Let's go to Gabriel Sanchez. Unless you got anything else to add to masses or Booster 18?
I mean, we could, but I don't know.
Now let's move on.
How deep in the weeds people would be into it.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. We get some time at the end of the show. We might come back to that. Okay, Sanchez again. Little, not so much happening. Okay, going onto the ship, onto the stand production area. Good news is there's yet another ship transport stand to be built, which is awesome. I've been waiting for these stands for so long, so they don't have to use those chains when they move ships around. And I'm sure it's been spoken to at nauseam that these new transport stands for the ships are very much built to be able to use all the same parking bays and the same adapter plates as the booster transport stand, to be very compatible, is the word I was looking for, with all the previous booster equipment when they transport boosters. An SPMT can park through here. We can even see where the little pins are going to be attached to the booster, to the SPMT adapter mechanism.
Finally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been waiting for that for so long. Which means now, like over in the Rocket Garden here, they won't need these separate ship parking bays. They can just all use the same pattern here for the booster transport stands.
What you're saying Ship 20 is going away.
I hope so.
I'm saying Ship 20 won't be able to park. It'll only have one park soon. It won't be able to, I'm pretty sure we're going to see this get dug up in the near future. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, unless they build somewhere else to put these two on display. I guess one of these will stay at least for Ship 20 for now. I'm not sure about Ship 20. I mean, it has still here, and people have said ages ago it's going to get scrapped ages ago, and it's still here though.
Hope it gets scrapped.
You say you hope it gets scrapped?
Yep.
Ah, where's all the Ship 20 love? Come on.
It's a block like 0.75. It's not even a block 1 ship. It's a suborbital ship with RVACs. Literally.
It's a lull.
Yeah, hardly
It's a meme
flyable.
ship right now.
It's a meme ship, yeah.
Don't try to take your
Okay.
What?
baseball.
I missed that. What'd you say?
I said, don't try to take your baseball.
Oh,
Karen reference.
This week
You
we
call
can
me
see.
Karen?
I think they got all the slides in on the new on this upgrade of this transport stand. We can see the clamps are there, getting ready to put in. Not sure what they are. I don't think we've worked out what they were.
I think those are the old stabilizers.
yeah.
Oh,
it used
part
to
of
be
the
on
old
the-
stabilizer system.
To be there.
They've had a few variations over the years of stabilizer arms that aren't being used anymore, with their vertical rams and all sorts of different ways of doing it. But
Thank
now they just got rid of them
God.
altogether.
I'm so glad those are not a thing anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure the crew are as well. And maybe these can even be a little bit more automated. Was it this one? No, it's One of them has cameras now, is that correct? This one, yeah, has cameras.
The one at the Rocket Garden definitely does.
The one at the Rocket Garden does, yeah, hang on.
Yeah. Much further along.
Yeah, it's a much more self adjusting what you wanna call it?
Robot.
Self-centering, I should say. Uh stabilization system with the new booster than before, which is really nice. It's
Hey, look,
basically a ball into a socket.
there's 6 of those old clamp arms in the scrapyard.
Okay,
Oh,
Quad.
the older ones.
Zoom in by that nose cone piece. Lifter. Down. Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah. So while we're here, this is Booster 17's downcomer and a couple of more of their. That's probably not part of Booster 17. Also, I've noted this is the part of the steelwork to hold up the elevators for the chain installation system there in Mega Bay 1, leading us to think that there's another stand, or maybe even all of the stands now have been modified for version 3 boosters.
Got a
Some of the
question from Sir Mike asking, do you think they're going to build all of the stands for Florida and some of the other parts here and ship them over?
I mean, with booster and ship transport stands, I could definitely see it because the crews here know how to build them. And if you just send it all here, you basically build a couple of ship stands, a couple of booster stands, put them on a barge, and send it right over. I mean, that seems like a really easy way to do it, rather than having to teach another crew to do it in Roberts Road. But then again, it also means you teach a crew how they work. So there's kind of trade-offs on that.
And
Well, they definitely
a
have
lot
the
of-
facilities at Roberts Road, don't they, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, they have more than enough room to build them there. It's just, will they, is the question.
It's
I'd
like
imagine they'll
most of
probably
their.
make a couple, send them over, and then use those kind of as teaching aids.
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the skids are all being built at one of the Florida sites, and having sub teams that specialize in one discipline might give you better consistency than having multiple teams that just make an occasional stand.
Yeah, so my guess is they will just, once they're done modifying the current 3 booster stands and they've built a couple of ship stands here, my guess is they'll start building booster stands and ship stands to then get shipped over to KSC, because they'll need them at some point. They're going to need at least one of each of those stands within what, 7-8 months is the possibility, maybe 9. So they probably want to. They may even ship one of these booster stands over.
Yeah, I was going to
is what
say,
they
maybe
mentioned.
even one of those ship stands too, because I need to say that.
Yeah, they might ship
Yeah.
ones that they've already built over, and then just build a couple more. But we'll see what
Yeah, 'cause
happens.
I think it might have been in 39A's draft. They did mention tooling was being shipped from Starbase to Roberts Road.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff mentioned in that final for 37 too. There's a bunch of stuff that'll get shipped over from Starbase and everything that'll get either put up to the turning basin or dropped off at the port or whatever. So there's definitely gonna be stuff shipped over. The question becomes what?
Right.
Another
We have
one.
those yeah, we have those mystery parts though. Yeah, so one guess is maybe a new Whippletree type 3-prong load spreader. I think you were saying that, Alex.
Yeah. What's that crane down view of the one on 18 kind of is reminiscent of?
They look like these parts of the
Yeah.
load spreader. Yeah.
That was the various um, attachments in the ends.
Yeah, and up there's a decent one in the middle as well. And being 3, it's funny. There's just 3 of them. So, oh, that's where you camp for the night over there.
Spring Doghouse. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, there's a couple of more of these X frames being built. These ones particularly are different. And they've even got their own little stand here, so it's not like they just haven't finished them. That's actually the shape of that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 6th one is a little different to the other ones. Still no real solid idea what they are. There's still only guessing. I mean, the only real guess is the colour means they could be for Giga Bay, but I mean, like you're saying, Alex, it's fairly unlikely that that's actually the case.
Yeah, it's might just be transport stuff. I mean, if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's transport related, but
This one too has a different. This one's different with 3 of its legs, and the other one over there was different with just 2 of its radiuses. The ibuprofen's come back. Obviously, it's not used at the launch site anymore.
Ship that over to 39A.
It will be shipped over to 39A, I would imagine, very much so, just on the truck. And have the same testing done at 39A. There's no change on the hoods this week, although we may see some change coming up in the next week, I'd imagine. Looks like they're starting to get ready for these over at the launch site, perhaps. What's that? Need a better
it's
photo
a
for that.
trailer. It's a gooseneck trailer and something extra.
Oh, sorry, it is too. I didn't. Yeah, of course it is. My eyeballs weren't working.
You farm girls, you forget everything.
Okay. I'll go over to the ship QD extension. They're still working on it. There's a few more pipes and so on, a few more bits and pieces being added to it. Oh, that's what I was looking for. There's a couple of these frame pieces around that are new. There's another one, way over there, hang on. There's another one over here. I don't know that it's related, but there's another new little bit of a framework over here.
The static fire, the stand modifications that they're doing at the old can crusher is what I think that might be for.
Okay, yep. Okay, ship QD arm extension. Yeah, it's looking nice. It should be getting rolled out the next week or so, or maybe maybe a couple of weeks still to go. There's still a bit to go. They've got to put the cryo pipe stuff on top, and including perhaps a walkway on top, because the QD arm has a lower and an upper walkway, so we'll probably see a lower and an upper walkway here as well. And they've got to put some flex lines on. The whole QD system's got to be put on still, so still a bit to go on this extension.
I think the whole extension QD part sits on top.
The whole thing's going to sit up on top. This looks interesting too.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
It looks like some machine pivots on the bottom.
All the electrical and some of the high pressure stuff or whatever, but mostly electrical. I guess even hydraulic stuff will go on the inside there, and then the cryo lines and everything else that hooks into the actual QD itself will ride on the top of it.
Yeah, they're using.
Maybe dip down this way. Maybe the flex lines will dip down this way to give the movement. No,
that's a whole work area. Just like if you look in, there's tons of equipment being put on it.
Yeah, there's more on it than I thought. I thought all that was going to get put on just on the arm and make this lighter. But I mean, even still, this is going to be much lighter anyway than the old extension. I think last week you were talking, maybe last week you can see the accumulator tanks in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of missed. I had like a whole week off last week. Okay.
Yeah, and I think over. I don't know if you can see it in this image, but by the inventory area.
Inventory. Hang on one sec.
Oh, you have a shot. If you have a closer one than that.
Here it is.
Okay, straight down. Use that white van by the loading dock. Yeah, where is it? Down bottom of frame. Go straight down, and it's those black rods. There. They're bundled. There's I think 6 of them right there.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another shot. On this angle, it doesn't look like. I thought those might be the struts for attaching the extension to the tower.
Actually, quickly jump over here and quickly find them. There's some struts over here that may have something.
Yeah.
Oh, where are they? They're in here somewhere, aren't they?
Uh,
There they are.
yeah. Yeah, no, those actually those look more like them. The other ones, actually, if we have an overhead shot, Ryan, maybe they look more like what was on the side tank, perhaps.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah,
those
those are
definitely
good,
look like the tower. Those are for the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones in the inventory tent actually look more like those black ones. That just popped into my mind.
They do look a bit like these, actually, don't they?
Yeah, the ones by the inventory tent. The ones at the airport lot, those definitely are the extension.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah, you have the 2 long ones, and then you have the short one.
Yeah. For the SQD extension, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it mounts very uniquely.
They were cleaning up. They have. I suppose this pot's still cleaning up. A lot of this stuff should be gone. Anywho, there's lots of platforms. I'm guessing some of this is for Giga Bay. I think maybe all the stuff over there is for the rest of Mega Bays. The stuff over here is maybe for Mega Bays, and I think this newer stuff is probably for Giga Bay.
I don't think they would be making work platforms right now for Giga Bay.
Well, so the theory there is that they'll put them in while the frame's going up, because it'd be easier than doing it later on, perhaps. While the frame's still got a bit of wiggle room, and it might make it easier to put them in at this stage rather than later. But you could be right. We'll just wait and see.
I mean, if they were going to do that, I would have figured we would have seen stuff at Roberts Road, and we haven't seen anything like that at Roberts Road. So
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
There's slight differences between the 2 buildings, so. I mean, I'd equip this one if it's going to be in use first, and they love their running changes.
So they're making another one of these truss sections for whatever reason. You can see where they're going to put the triangles in here. I'll just quick sort of jump around on you. I'll just quickly jump back over to Massey's here. We'll get the storage lot where they've moved the other 2 trusses. This area is looking nicely cleaned up, by the way. So the other 2 trusses here are, well, mostly completed, but being moved over to here. So still not sure. So that's, I don't know about these being used for Giga Bay or not yet. I'm sort of starting to believe Alex here a lot lately about that. So still not really sure at all what they're for. I'm sure we're going to get questions about that. What are the truss sections for? I really don't know yet. Yeah, yes.
They're for that thing that you said. They're going to be self-explanatory when we see it roll out.
Yeah, it'll be like a smack my head sort of moment. That's what they're for, of course. That's what they're for.
HLS or breakover. Take no questions.
yes, just yes.
Okay, I think that's about it for Sanchez. We're getting it pretty easy this week, guys, so we'll have some decent talks over the launch site, hopefully. This shot here, Alex, might show it a bit better.
Yeah, these look. No, they're even shorter than the ones on the booster.
Oh, they got their ball ends on them, or whatever ends you want to call them on there. What's that? What's that?
That's a sump.
Yeah, that's a pump sump.
Oh, it is too. Of course it is. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
How
What?
soon I
Top.
quickly forget.
Up top by that Cybertruck, right in front of its bonnet, there's some. I was trying to figure out what those were.
Alex, your mic's a tiny bit quiet. But they're interesting things, yeah. Okay, any questions for Sanchez, Matt?
We do not. We have a couple questions in the queue, but they are for Giga Bay, so we will wait until we get over there.
Well, let's just go there then now. I believe Giga Bay is here. Okay, Giga Bay. Wow, it's going ahead so quickly. It's almost hard to keep up. So we've got some, I guess, second level columns going up. So all of the columns on the first. Now we're going to talk different sorts of levels here. There's levels of columns and there's like floor levels. So this might get a little confusing at times here. Let's start. So there's obviously elevators and staircase and what have you everywhere. Now this elevator though appears to be a double elevator orientated the other way around, which may be for the area up above Giga Bay. So perhaps like a guest elevator to go straight up to the top of Giga Bay rather than going from floor to floor within Giga Bay.
And I believe that level's speculated the same as a mezzanine running around the front of the factory where the windows are.
Okay, this level here. So we can see staircase holes on only this level here alone, which Alex speculated in Chantel. That's going to be where that first mezzanine level we see. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was referring to on the section with the double elevators. It's also that level's the same height as the mezzanine that runs around the factory along Highway 4.
Oh, sorry, of course. Yeah. This level down here, isn't it? This intermediate level down here seems to be the same level as that floor.
Yeah.
That sort of, what do we call it along here? That little walkway.
That mezzanine. Yeah. And
mezzanine.
it tracks because this is framed a bit different.
This shot shows that level better. That level down there you're talking about, Alex, yeah. So yeah, no, and then these holes here for a ladder. They're just for a ladder, you see. For like a ladder / staircase to get up to as we see in Mega Bay 1, there's like a false floor up here at this height where the work stands above the works, or at the height of the top of the work stands in Mega Bay 1. We may see that similar at that height in here.
And for those who have not seen it or don't know, are they pouring concrete there in those walkways?
On the corrugated decking, yes. Yeah, those
these ones, but not the intermediate ones. There's some. So there's another big difference here where we think the turntables don't have intermediate floors between the main floors, whereas over here where there's more of the finishing off work going, there's in between floors as well, which aren't concrete, they're just steel. And you're saying, Alex, there's some cutouts in the steel. I think it was a BJ saying there's cutouts in steel, so they'll be able to have more staircases in between here.
Yeah, but if the second level of columns, I don't think has the tabs for those intermediate on these.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see them along here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't see them. I think BJ was mentioning that as well. If we say his name enough times, or dreadfully wrong, he'll pop in and
Yeah,
keep
I
us
always
from
lean on
spreading false
BJ for.
information.
I always lean on BJ for Giga Bay stuff. He's very much on it. Something we noticed this week with these second level of columns too is the plates for the top plate going over these suspected doorways, and then continuing from there on will be normal walls again.
Yeah, they're gonna do it 5 levels up from the floor.
Five
Like
of
in
these
Robert's
levels, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
So
So lots of little details. The more you look over these sort of images, the more details people seem to pick up on. There's lots of little things. Like there's another. Sorry.
I would expect shortly on the side facing the Star Factory, once they really kick into gear for that second level, once they start doing the cross beams, they'll put in there'll be a temporary beam that goes where in the middle of that doorway, while they go ahead and build it up, because that's what they did at Roberts Road. So I'd kind of expect that over here as well. But of course, there are differences. But
they did it at Roberts Road before they even finished the first level.
Yeah. So I mean, if they do, I would expect it soon. If they do that.
Well, just to counter that, to be the devil's advocate, there's another thought there that Roberts Road, because it doesn't have a factory on it, it may need wall panelling on this side until the factory is built, whereas here it doesn't need wall panelling, so perhaps they won't need them at all in here at this Giga Bay. I mean, there's plenty of these guy wires and everything holding everything straight, so I don't think they actually need it for any kind of actual bracing in the interim, if they're going to be left open anyway at the end of the day. But we'll see. There's always.
Do we?
And I'm not. These aren't my opinions. These are just things I pick up on all the different channels and that we look at. So they're just other thoughts.
Is there another angle from looking towards Mega Bay 2? Oh, that one might work if you zoom in to by the where they have the second level by factory. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay, that was just an illusion. Because
There's plenty
You've
of that
seen
going
things.
yeah, no, it was from where it was looking. The other shot, the second column in the sort of the end truss tower, it looked like it was one over. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. So if you
The
see
connecting plate.
Yeah.
Go
If
on.
you see from here, you can see from the floor. You count the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the fifth one
Yeah.
will then go over. Basically, the expectation is that that's going to be across that row, and they'll have smaller doors there, or it'll just be an opening straight into the factory, where they can roll sections and just set it on the turntable for stacking. Is basically what, at least that's what I'm kind of expecting. So I'll be curious to see how they integrate it with the factory, whether it's with a bridge crane or however else they decide to lift sections up. Because if they do that at the 5th level, I would think that they would extend the 5th level out. Say extend that out to connect with the factory, and then you just bring the wall down to the roof of the factory, and then what you do is you take that bridge crane, and that bridge crane can basically go over that entrance, the little gapway, so it can pick up a section and then lift it onto the turntable for stacking. I wonder if they'd try to do something like that, but they would.
It'll be
probably
interesting to see how the. Sorry, Alex.
Oh, that was Ryan.
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
But I was gonna say, because I say that and then I go, well, they would probably need a decent amount of reinforcement on the truss columns if you were to have a bridge crane do something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the bridge crane system all works in this Giga Bay, and yeah, like you said, how it's going to work in with the factory too.
Well, and speaking
thank
of columns and beams and extensions and all that, we all know that they use a lot of bolts and rivets and stuff to put all this together. So Wynn was wondering, how do they prevent all those nuts from loosening up over time? Do they use spot welds or some other kind of capture system?
Loctite. I don't know.
Torque.
Blue or red?
Yes. Yeah.
All of the above.
I actually don't know how they
Actu-
do it for large steel structures. I don't know.
Generally, if you do them up tight, there's no real massive vibrations. I don't think they'd come loose.
Not only that, each connecting plate has like 8 to 10 bolts, if not more. And when you get that many bolts, usually it's going to hold together stiff enough that it probably won't come loose. And as Stephanie said, there's not really a lot of vibrations in this building. I mean, there's going to be because you're going to be moving vehicles around and stuff like that. I mean, you're going to have vibrations in it. You can't make a building too stiff, then that doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're flying a plane or launching a rocket and you need safety wire on everything. So,
I mean, when's the last time your engine block through a bolt worked itself loose?
that too is not even car engines really even use safety wire. It's more get used for rockets and aircraft because of the safety factor somewhat compromised due to weight kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically more what
Yeah.
it is used for.
I mean, I will say
Yeah,
that safety wire and stuff is used on vehicles and stuff, but it's really more on only like high-end race cars and things, so it's really not the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ryan was alluding to, where you're shedding weight for safety. You're lowering your safety margins.
Right, right.
So less bolts, but then in order to keep the bolts that you do have on more secure, you use safety wire. Like, say you consider, say, mounting a integrated drive generator or a hydraulic pump onto an engine. A lot of people would think you would take a plate and you'd use a couple of bolts. In fact, it's a quick disconnect plate that's a single bolt that gets tightened, that basically attaches that to the accessory gearbox on the jet engine. And then what you do is you safety wire that bolt to a tie-off point so that it doesn't move or anything, and the thing just it stays in place. So
Yep.
you're less weight. It's secure. There's less weight, which means and it's just better overall for the vehicle because less weight, and it's also less complex too.
10mm socket set.
But harder to install.
Yes. Well, not really. But
Well, once you're
So they
once
won't
you're
be
brought
having
up to
any.
speed.
They won't be having that system here. Just be bolted up like any other steel
Yeah.
building. It's not. This is like one thing I know, and I always repeat this: things around Starbase. It's not. There's really no new technology so much. It's bits and pieces from all different fields. I mean, sure, there's some rocket science in the actual rockets, but even there, it's still just steel work and cryo work that's well and truly known. There's lots and lots of cryo industries around, so a lot of this stuff is well industry standards in a lot of and with a lot of experience and years of putting those sort of buildings together.
Yeah, science.
Yeah, but I mean, the amount of input other than the design criteria for the factory in Giga Bays is probably little. I mean, most of the engineering was all done probably out of house.
Okay, so I see a heap of questions there, Matt. I might start going through a few of them for Giga
we
Bay.
got some more questions for sure. Saad Usmani is asking, how many workstations in the Giga Bay will be for production versus refurbishment? Do we know that yet?
Yes, no,
Nope.
we don't know that.
No clue.
The only thing we
Refurb will
really
just
sort
be
of
outside. No, joking.
sorry. The only thing we sort of confident is this row of 6 maybe for turntables And then other than that, like it may be ship and booster and booster and ship. It might not even be just all booster, all ship. I think you were saying that, Ryan, in show and no, someone was saying that in show and tell. It's not necessarily just all boosters here and all ships here either. There might be, you might not, the bays might not be like a ship or a booster can go in this bay, but this bay might be a booster bay. This bay might be a ship bay.
Yeah.
There's so many variables, we can't really tell. So the only thing we're kind of confident is that the turntables will be over that side.
I think what they'll do, um, it depends on how it depends on if they change their construction process. So right now, ship uses a single turntable, booster uses two. The question becomes: will booster still use two turntables, or will they find a way to use only one? If they find a way to use only one, then I wouldn't be surprised if they do like 3 and 3 on the turntables. But if they can only use two, then I would assume there's going to be 2 ship turntables and 4 booster turntables. So basically, where they just stack 2 ships at a total, which it takes them 3 weeks to stack them. Once you start the forward section, and then for boosters, I mean, literally one is a LOX tank, one's methane tank, and then you and then you basically move one tank to the other, and at one point you finally decide to robot weld them at this time and at this point in time, which because they've always been hand welding them, and then once it's done, you just move it to a processing stand. That's the question I have overall, but I don't know if we'll ever exactly find out how they're going to kit it out. I'll have to wait.
We'll get some idea when the doors are open. We'll get some kind of views in there from time to time, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
I hope they
Another question
fit it out.
is, do you guys think that the Giga Bay can have windows like the Star Factory does?
Probably not. The renders don't show. The renders sort of show it more like the Mega Bays, but without the external cladding. I mean, the external framework. Also just that leads into a question about whether there's going to be an area at the top of the bay like they have in the Mega Bays, which the renders just on Windows. The renders show windows at the top of Giga Bay, but not along the bottom, not on the sides at all, down lower. I sort of answered another question there on you.
Yeah, and then this question, I know Alex knows this one specifically. Are the holes where the columns bolt down, are they going to be filled with concrete?
Yes. That's usually a lighter grade concrete.
Concrete
Plus
slash grout.
Well, the grout's underneath, which should be independent of what they fill those holes with.
Of course, yeah. And the grout makes sure the column has solid contact with the pile cap below, yeah.
Yeah. To minimize any voids, so you don't have any high point loads or unsupported voids.
You wouldn't want those holes all over the floor, so yeah, they'll definitely fill them in.
But they usually use a different grade because if the slab moves, you want that to deform before putting that loading on the actual columns.
Sure, yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Another
We have
quick
that
one that
in
I think we...
Oh, sorry, Matt. In pool
go
construction, Alex, we've got to be very careful of that because slabs of concrete can push really, really hard and can do damage. They can push houses around. Thanks, Matt.
Those grade beams on pools around the perimeters are, I mean, you can attest to how strong those things are.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, another quick question we got is, are the Giga Bay doors going to be on the roadside only or on both sides of the building?
It looks like there's going to be 4 doors, complete roll through aisles.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Someone just said something about NASA report I found online shows gaseous helium COPV high temperature limit is usually 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, the skin
Okay.
temperature.
Skin temperature. Cool. Thanks, Matt.
Absolutely. And that is everything for right now.
Cool. Okay. So we can finish with Giga Bay then. So yeah, well, next week we can expect. I think so, I've seen somewhere in chat or so that they've already got third level columns up, but obviously that's not the case. We probably won't see third level columns next week, but we'll definitely see a lot more of the second height of columns finished up, more than likely by next flyover, depending on the weather. Okay, moving on to the back of the factory. There's not really much of interest here, except that there's still lots of these white bits and pieces. So I guess they're still doing a lot of work inside the factory still. So as fast as we see barrels and things come out of the factory, I still don't think factory is anywhere near running at 100% speed and volume at the moment, or cadence, however you want to say that. So I expect the factory still to be get faster and faster as time goes on. And probably iterate from time to time too, as they come up with better building techniques and so on. As we hear Elon harp on a bit about how it's the factory itself is sort of more complicated than the actual rocket. Not much change in this area. Still a few weird things, and that silly frame's still there. This guy is picking up stuff. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's sort of this area is getting sort of used a little bit. Now the apartment building's looking fantastic. Looks like I think it was asked in chat. Was it last week or last time I did a stream where the glass is going to continue all the way around the building, and yeah, I'd imagine the glass is going to go all the way around the building. I think in the renders that little area was open, and perhaps this little area in here was open a little bit, but the rest was all glass. It looks like they're going to match the garage, the parking garage over at Sanchez here with the cladding on the side of the parking side on the side where the parking garage on this building is.
Watch another big mural get put up.
Yeah, it's just that thought just crossed my mind. You must have read my mind. Oh, they're pouring concrete underneath.
Yep.
Now I'm pretty sure I've got oh, this one I'll sort of do. Yeah, the glass work on this side. Well and truly moving forward. Oh, here we go, this shot, yeah. But the accommodation in here and the amount of sort of high density sort of makes this area look kind of a little bit inefficient, doesn't it? But apparently there's something in the pipe works there, but no one will tell me what it is.
From this shot, this looks like a parking structure that has a handful of apartments surrounding it.
Or offices. Almost. It's like it just, yeah, because normally when you see an apartment complex, you'll just see the apartment complex, and then the garage for it will be like below it,
Right.
not inside it, and not a parking structure that holds far more cars than there are apartment units.
There's quite a few units. Funny thing though, Ryan, once we saw this building go up and I was down in the big smoke of Melbourne, Australia, I noticed quite a few buildings like this I know there's a lot of them with them underground for sure, I know that as well, but yeah, there's actually quite a few like this these days as well. Until you sort of take a closer look at the entrance and see that actually there is a parking spot, a parking bay as well. I mean, a parking garage sort of system as well. But sure, I understand. Mostly they're underground, yeah.
But the living space from this view is not even a third of the total parking structure area.
Sure. So there are quite a few units here, but we think that it's also going to be for the office workers, I guess, and even maybe some factory workers as well.
Need as I said before, need a glass sky bridge because why not?
I think it shows it more the
Do it. Do it.
Mars world, the
Yeah, that'll
world,
look pretty neat.
we could service them.
I say glass sky bridge. Let's do it. Yeah.
Across here even.
Yep. Do it.
We'll put your request
one's
in,
a zip
Ryan.
lines.
Copy.
A zip
What?
line, yeah.
What else?
I'll call Elon and let him
Zipline.
know you want it.
Okay.
A zip line, yeah.
Yeah, that works too.
What
Yeah,
Alex
that's
is
what
trying
Or
to
that
say.
in
Square hole is.
honor of Stargate coming back, we'll just do a set of ring transporters. There you go.
That's what I always thought of the Super Crusher at Sanchez, eh?
Yeah. The ancient ring transporter.
Yeah, the of Stargate, yeah. It's very much like that. Okay, not much more at the build site. Over here, they're doing a little bit of gardening work over here to sort of break up the outside to the sort of inside area here. Perhaps it'll garden through here. It wasn't there last week. They're still breaking up the old tracking station foundations and perhaps the Tesla pack foundations as well. Got some more bolts to put in, so just going to tidy up this little area. And maybe it's a sign of something bigger to come, but we'll see. Another view of it. So any more questions for the build site? We're way ahead of time, but we can
Not a
talk
lot
a
has
fair bit.
happened over the last week because it's Thanksgiving. No one, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot. Drew Nard just sent over $2 Canadian, said transfer tube slide between parkage and an office.
Make a new booster transfer tube. Make a slide out of it.
Oh, that's
Love
what
the
they say.
splines.
And then we had a couple questions of how long do we think after the Giga Bay is going to be done? Do we think that Mega Bay 1 is going to get demolished?
Instant as soon as the booster assembly stands and booster processing is ready to go in Giga Bay, Mega Bay 1 is gone. It is
Yeah.
completely obsolete, and they will start to dismantle the inside. It'll take a while to take that bay down because they'll have to take everything out from the inside, all the work platforms, the stairs, the work stands themselves, the turntables, the bridge cranes.
I'd
And
imagine they'd
then
probably use a lot of that to outfit Giga Bay, right? As it comes
they
out, it goes into Giga Bay.
they may try to do that. But I also kind of think that Giga Bay is going to get its own set of stuff that's going to be more optimized for Giga Bay itself.
Mm-hmm.
The turntables they may try to save. Those are definitely a possibility. But I think the rest of Mega Bay 1 is just scrap. And boy, is it going to take a while to take that bay down. We saw how long it took them with High Bay. Mega Bay is going to take a bit.
Tiger Demolition will have words with you. We also thought it'd take forever to get the OLM down.
John T. Upper's roof hole is for a sky bridge.
I didn't.
No, it's for your zip line.
I didn't think it would take forever to get that mount down.
Yeah.
I thought it would have taken them longer than it did.
Oh,
but I
no,
never thought
I
it-
meant in general that the right demo crew would make quick work of that building.
If you had the room to do it, they probably would just drop it. But they don't really have the room to do that, is the thing. Like, I bet if they had the room, they would have dropped High Bay. Absolutely. They would have just dropped it on the ground from the top. After they got rid of the concrete roof and whatnot, I think they would have just dropped it. But
I think for those bays will probably drop. There's just so much
That's a
mass
lot
so
to
high
take
up.
apart. That's a
Yeah.
lot to take apart. Like you would probably need to bring in an 11K to dismantle it section by section, honestly. Which, yeah, I don't know if they want to do.
Because it's roof. Yeah, that concrete up there. It'd be fun. Yeah, it's gone for the world if anybody's
Yeah.
asked my opinion.
It'll be fun to watch them dismantle that thing once Giga Bay is operational, but it's gonna be a while.
But we really won't have great views of it being dismantled either, unfortunately.
I mean, we'll be able to see it from our river lot, from NSS River
Yeah.
lot, is we'll be able to see it from, which will be nice. And if you're on the side of Highway 4 looking at it, you'll be able to see it. But if there's any cameras on the side, dope. there's gonna be a massive building that's gonna block that one.
Franken Bay. We'll get good views of it right here on RGB aerial photography.
Yeah, that too.
Flyover videos.
Jared, I was just talking live views.
Yeah, sure.
Some of us are addicts, and we need our fix. So
Yeah, more than weekly. It's daily.
About the time they get tooled up for one version, it's time to rip it out and retool for the next version. That sort of seems to have happened recently a little bit, but yeah. Eventually they'll come up with a final design.
I can't wait to see how cool some of the shots are going to be once this thing gets up to height, but before the roof gets put on. That's going to be cool.
Little question of this area, could it be for like police because of the new Starbase now being incorporated? Do you think they'll put the administrative functions, government office, post office, police, perhaps in this area? That's a possibility.
Logistically, it makes sense.
Yeah. So
makes too much
like-
sense.
Yeah.
post
I mean, they got the
office is-
medical unit, the medical buildings there, so it could be correct.
I thought they were contracting all their police work out to the sheriffs.
I think they are.
It's-
They might get their own force at some point, but yeah. Then they have to
Okay,
train
poll
up
results.
Can't wait to see
poll
those
results.
uniforms.
Oh God.
Sorry, the poll results are in. We've got January, February 44%, March, April 49%, May, June 5%, and July, August 2%.
You know what they should look like? They should be like Starship Troopers.
It's afraid.
Yes, correct. That's the correct answer.
Service guarantees citizenship. What?
Something I'm curious about. I haven't actually looked for a while. Did they end up removing that pump station next to the parking garage? Sure, we got a photo of it. Someone's going to go on a little sidetrack here. Any more questions there, Matt?
We do not.
Okay. I'll move on to the launch site here. I'll just see if there's a photograph of it. No, I don't think I've got a photo. This one might show it. Down here. It looks like that pump building's still there. Thought they would have got rid of that in here. Alaska crow sandwich there. Okay, let's move on to the launch site, and we'll start with we'll start with pad 1. Keep going to call it pad A.
What pad?
Yeah.
The scrap complex.
Like, I cannot wait to see them, and I hope they start it like this week. I cannot wait to see the process they're going to do to take out the plate. That's going to be fun to watch.
Like I say, jackhammer and a quarter stick of gelignite.
I mean, I would use a couple 1,000 pounds of anfo myself, but that's just me.
Bit of nitropyrin. I won't say that, sorry. We used to do land clearing out on the country farms, and yeah, they used to use a bit of explosives. It was good fun.
Or, since we all love Stargate, C4.
So we'll start with your iconic American flag on the tower shot. We've tipped this over upside down because the image actually first came out with the flag upside down. So I thought we'd better tip the image upside down for you to make the flag up the right way. And I guess that's up there for Thanksgiving weekend. So I understand it's a very important holiday for you guys over there. So whatever, happy Thanksgiving.
So
Turkey
Pat,
tastes good.
FTS.
Yeah.
Okay, on with. So was it this week they've taken the next bit of chopstick off, or was that last week?
It's the other side.
The
It's
other
the other
side,
side.
yeah.
Yeah. Now we've got the short sticks.
And a little bit extension left here for the pusher to sit, as far as I can see.
I think it's
I can,
like it's the same construction as they had on the other one.
yeah. So I think there'll still be a bit more things to get stripped off before they start upgrading them. But they're going to be a fair way off before they need. Well, not sure how long, because maybe they'll catch a ship here, so maybe they'll need them sooner than later.
I mean, I will say this: these are still going to be unique sticks because they still have a part of that diagonal truss piece that no other stick has, right at the end where they cut. Because they have those three pieces, and then there's that little diagonal truss piece on each side that the other sticks don't have because they didn't need to start that.
This one or that one?
No, it's on the end that's already cut.
They might trim it back, maybe.
They might trim it back, but it's still unique.
Yeah, everything. Drop the tower. Drop the tower.
Right? It's just, here's the thing: to get these ready to catch for a ship at this point in time will take months. They have torn so much off of these sticks. They have to redo they probably have to redo most of the hydraulic lines. They have to reinstall all the systems for the landing rails. They have to redo the stabilizers. They have to redo the entire backside of the tower to put all the drawworks back in. They have to re-reeve the tower, possibly change out the traveling block and the crown block so you can have that bigger mechanical advantage. Probably replace the skates on the carriage themselves. Do work on all the rails. They have so much work to do to get these back to operational status that I don't even think they would be operational to catch a ship this year, in 2026. I don't think they would be.
Sure.
I honestly
Yep.
don't think so.
That actually is an optimistic timeline, Ryan.
I will wait that they wouldn't be ready next year.
Yeah, I think it's a year and a half minimum.
Yeah,
to get
there's a lot to do.
the whole tower is going to.
Yeah, and that's not the only other thing. It's like they have to redo a lot of internals. Like, also, there's no power or hydraulics to those arms either. They took the raceway out. It's gone.
Well, it's still laying there, but
I mean, it's laying there, but I should say the cable chain. But like, and they have to take off some of those the actuators. They basically have to redo the entire hydraulic system for it as well. Like, there is so much work to be done for it. It's not going to be ready for a while.
Sure. So there's nothing really stopping him using the other tower for a catch anyway, I would imagine.
No, they can use the other tower to catch both. There's nothing stopping them from catching both the ship and the booster. The only thing that they have to do is make sure the booster is out of the way.
Sure.
And if they can learn how to catch a booster, put it back on the mount quickly, which with the new system, they should be able to do it pretty quick, safe it, and get it on a transport stand and out within a couple of hours, which is not really out of that realm of impossible. It shouldn't take
Well,
that long to safe one of those things. They can have the ship, deploy its payload, come back around, and land on that same tower. They can be doing those missions. So
Yeah, but I mean that's a 12-hour to 24-hour, depending which
yeah,
ascending or descending leg. They have plenty of time to.
to get the booster out of the way, yeah, that's more than enough time. So I
like
That
would,
means-
obviously in the future with high cadence, that's going to be a different scenario and a whole different kettle of fish. And of course, they'll have other towers to catch ships. But for the first, like for Starbase here, I don't think that's an issue for now. Once cadence goes way up into Florida, and all that, I think things will change.
Yeah,
If they get the new launch azimuths approved, then they could launch from here and easily catch it at the Cape too.
yeah, that's the other thing is once 39A is operational, if you want to build up your ship fleet at the Cape, well, once that pad's operational, do a mission from here and just catch the ship at the Cape. Like, I mean, the only thing you would have to send over is a couple of boosters, and you'd just have a fleet of boosters at the Cape, and then you can swap ships out by taking off from the Cape and landing in Boca, or taking off from Boca and landing at the Cape. Like ferrying a vehicle, but doing a mission in the process.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, so now, the OLM, the old OLM, we can actually this week we can actually we can actually see the outline of the plate this week because they've been burying it in dirt. That gravel and rebar, that's all pretty well from the legs. So I haven't actually started digging down here yet. That's a doghouse as far as I know where the cryopipes popped up. And we can see the other end of the cryopipes over here where this come into the old fluids bunker. Ton of scrap here of legs and rebar. And still a little bit of the OLM still there. OLM still exists, just.
In pieces and scrap.
It'll always live on in their mind, I'm sure.
I can't wait. I really can't wait to see them start digging into the breaking apart the concrete and then basically digging down next to the plate and then separating the plate from the foundation. I wonder if they'll slice the plate into chunks or if they'll try to get the plate out, like rip it out and then dig in. That's always, I'm just kind of curious how they'll decide to do
I
that.
guess depend how attached the steel is to the concrete underneath.
Yeah,
It's fully welded on the perimeters.
yeah. So they might be able to slice the plate out like that.
Like, did it have Nelson studs into the concrete, the plate, things
No.
like that?
No, it was.
No.
It's only welded on the perimeter, and they grouted the gap where they welded it.
Cool. So I got some landing rails, some of the landing rails and some of the landing rail pads here. I think last week we kind of in our weekly video we kind of pointed the wrong things out a little bit last week in this area, but it was only a minor thing. And now
That's
bits
what's left
and
of the
pieces of the
things.
chopsticks. Oh, here's some more of the chopsticks.
Yeah, it looks like so much more when it's chopped up on the ground
Right.
than when they were lifting it down.
Exactly. And over here we've got at the Water Deluge farm, they've taken out all the high pressure manifolds in here. We can see them little centipedes in the dumpsters here.
Yay, all the valves.
Next is the high pressure tanks, then the smaller water tanks, then probably the big water tanks, and then take out all those pipes and dig up and knock down all those pedestals and tear it all out.
And
Yep, and they've already started taking some more high pressure tanks out here.
those were, I don't know if those were really ever used. The second.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Only some of them were actually plumbed in, yeah. Such a huge change with the new gas generation system.
Yeah. And then digging up the old pipes all the way to
Are you
know,
there?
crate, crate.
Past that little box in the ground over here somewhere.
Yeah, right
Wherever
where
that
the
is.
Candace
Somewhere
is
there,
right about.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe there-ish. Yeah. The CO2 tank's been deplumbed and ready to take out. I guess it was still a CO2 tank.
Matt, you're saying?
Yeah, Crane Man was
Okay.
asking about the ship quick disconnect arm. Is it going to be staying at the same height, or are they going to need to move it?
So
You'll have
this
to
came
move
up last week, and Ryan Hansen answered it for us. He's actually in chat now. There's a thing. It depends. It's not quite as obvious as we might think because of the tower, because where the bottom of the booster sits is at a different height now with the new trench, the new OLM.
I mean,
I can't quite remember. He's measured it. He has all the measurements about where it's actually going to be and not going to be.
I think you could set the tower as your ground plane, and
Work your
Use
way
that
up.
as your
Yeah.
reference. Yeah. But you also have the limitations of how high and how low you can put the trench.
I think
Yeah,
by
I would
memory
gather-
is saying it can stay at the same level because of the difference in versions of vehicles and the difference in height of the OLMs.
well,
And the gradations that you can move it are fairly large. I mean, I forget what the height of each of those levels are.
Alex, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hands.
So 12 inches? Or is
Oh, you
that
horsey
16?
people, 16. Oh, you horsey people know that's 16 inches, yeah.
You're such
And
bad.
just for horsey people, our horses are 8 hands, little minis.
Wow. I know dogs that are tower over them.
Yes, yeah, and sheep. Yeah, one day, yeah, Paul, I got a ram and one of our horses. Yeah, about the same size.
I mean, looking at the SQD arm, I'd actually hazard a guess the new one is heavier than this one.
Not sure how it went from rockets to horses then, but anyhow.
Rockets the horses. What is this? What, we got Chris Bergen in the house here?
I blame the country girl.
Very good. So they're looking kind of fairly tidied up on the methane side.
Hey,
Still a
Stephanie,
couple of. Oh,
jump in real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I overheard the question there, so I did poke around in the images a little bit, maybe to answer Cranman's question with some more details. So this image is actually pretty good here. You can kind of use the tower as like a unit of measurement. So each of the truss sections, you can kind of count those. So pad A, you have basically 12 truss units from basically the top of the concrete there to the bottom of the arm. Now on pad B, I believe the count is 11. So the arm is actually 1 unit lower, but the other thing to think about is the pad 2 tower is actually, I think it's like 1.5 meters taller. So that shifts it up a little bit. So technically you're getting close to like 11 and a quarter units taller, because I believe each truss section is about 5.6 meters. So you're getting into kind of a fractional there. So they kind of have the option then, if they redo pad A or pad 1, if you move the arm down or up, you're moving it by a unit of about 5.6 meters, and that may be too much in either direction depending on what they want to do. So they may actually adjust the height of the actual mount on the ground to get it back into kind of a constant a consistent measurement between pad 1 and pad 2. So I would kind of venture a guess that maybe the mount is a little bit taller on pad 1, or they could go lower. It really just depends on, what direction they want to go. If they want to pull the arm off the tower and, move it up or down. You also have to consider that they do eventually want to make the vehicles taller. And we know on pad 2, they've already put in the infrastructure to, take that arm and move it up one spot. So on, tower 1, does it make sense to move it down right now, and then add another set of the little bracketries to hold the arm onto the tower, and use that now, and then use the current position it's in right now for later if it's taller? It really kind of depends. There's variables they can play with, for where they want that height to end up being.
Or they could just
Thanks,
adjust
Vic.
the extension and move the QD plate down, or try to do something like that. Rather than move the whole. I think that would be easier than trying to move the entire mount up or down. But
Yeah. Explained it 1,000 times better than I ever could have, Ryan. Thank you.
yep.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for jumping in there. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Stay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow, we're doing well with time, guys. You're talking lots for me. Good on you. Appreciate it.
Slowly
Okay,
Press about that every time.
I know, right? All right, I think that's. Maybe not. He said his tray was empty anyway. It doesn't matter. Different thing. Okay. Yeah, the whole pad 1 pump farm's getting nicely demolished. See, they're starting to rip out some of the underground tunnels, whatever you want to call them. They had culverts for the cryo pipes. Still a fair bit to go. There's some buried stuff under here, and there's obviously heaps of buried stuff under here, and of course over there there's some more buried stuff underground over there they need to get rid of sooner or later. Probably not a high priority right now. And they're still using this system, Alex, yeah?
Yep. But they've really have removed a lot of the pipes by the 2 that are first up for removal.
Yep, they look like they're ready to lift out. Very much. So we worked out the other day here, there's a nitrogen line down there no longer needed at this end of the farm, and there's a LOX line here obviously no longer needed down this end of the farm, I suppose, depending on what they do with the ASU propellants. But I don't know they're going to use.
They need one of the nitrogen lines, probably, say, continue with
Your current plumbing, pull in a new one
for the
methane.
Unless they put a flare stack.
Say they're running
over here.
To the reclamation system. Except currently that looks like it may be.
The old line was definitely disconnected, but then looks like a new pipe. I haven't looked at these that closely.
Flare stack would be cool. Cool to get one of those back.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, be like the one at Massey, so.
Boo. I want one like
Yeah.
at 36.
I just say boo.
Yeah, I want one like it.
The ones at McGregor as well.
Let's see, can we just address something here? I mean, thanks for South African. Is it South African rands? Yeah, $20 from 125 Hunter. About, I get it, we're itching to share all those B18 pictures, but does anyone realise that this gives structural clues and internals to anyone watching? The thing with that is, we're not in a. We addressed this actually through show and tell, and we came up and we're justifying ourselves that. What we do with jumping in, or what RGV does, jumping in on an aeroplane and flying over Starbase, anyone can do this. It doesn't take our images to get leaked out to for those sort of details. If somebody wants those details, they can well and truly easily get those details themselves. So we're not doing anything that anybody else can't do. So I don't think we personally are confident, and I speak on behalf of the whole RGV team, that we're very confident that that's not actually an issue of what we're actually doing here and sharing images of the internals of B18. And Elon himself even suggested that he doesn't mind competition and so on.
Well, there's one thing about taking an overhead picture of the plumbing and structure of the booster. It's another actually knowing how to make the materials, how to design the entire system, how to actually design and build the booster, how to test it, how to put the engines on it, how to design and build those, then how to fly it, plus the GNC software that goes alongside it. So pictures of a structure is one thing, but actually reverse engineering it, that's why SpaceX, every time that something like this happens and people take pictures, they always just say, I know Elon goes, good luck. If you want to try to replicate it, good luck. That's all
Exactly.
he says. Is basically
Yeah.
what it is. It's like,
Yeah, it's
And
like
he actually welcomes competition because he understands that advances the industry as a whole.
look up cargo culting from World War II.
So we're not too worried about that, and we get that people have that concern, and I understand that very much. But yeah, I think we're okay.
Yeah. None of that's ITAR.
Just don't tell anybody. Just shh. Don't tell anyone.
Yes, taking
Nothing
photos from
happened.
the air.
I mean,
Public
if
earth
something
there.
was highly ITAR, they would, maybe put a tarp over it or something anyway. Okay, speaking of putting tarps over things, they've moved this tent from over to here for that slab. I guess that's why that slab was poured, so they can continue this wall through here. So moving on to tower 2, pad B, sorry. Pad 2, pad B, I don't know.
still
I call
waiting
it
for
pad 2.
that, then to put that wall up and then put the Gateway to Mars sign, and then flight 12, the Gateway to Mars sign gets blown off the wall because of the exhaust right there. That's what I'm expecting to happen.
Yeah. Put it on by the tank side of the blast wall, so nobody will see it.
Yep. Not like we need to see it anyways.
Very good. Yeah, there's a bit of a lively chat going on about the that whole discussion we just had about taking images. It's all good. Now let's go on to this area down here. They put the hood back on. They've taken the ibuprofen off. Let me get a closer image here. Maybe this one will do. All the clamps are closed. Last week we saw a bit of linkages on this arm over here for the hoods. So I'm sort of, or was it this arm? It's one of these two, I think. So we should be seeing some more of that going on. You can see sort of here how the hoods are going to cover up that sort of top half of the opening here. Look, you can see down here where the pivot point is. It looks like there's going to be an opening, a gap down there still left open when they finish. But that's not a real big issue, is it, Alex?
Yeah, they'll probably put a plate over it.
They will put a plate over it, yeah. Now this week we noticed they've covered the holes. I can't remember whether on the quarters or the 45s, isn't it? But they've covered those little holes that were in the side of the plates here, which we kind of expected. Well, most of us kind of expected, some of us didn't. Didn't think they'd be pouring water down here. And Alex is saying they'd probably spray water outward on this, I guess.
Yeah.
Rainbirds, let's go. What?
No rainbirds. Boo.
Boo! I
Everyone
want
wants rainbirds.
Yeah.
Oh, they finished painting this side here. That's pretty. Pretty.
Yeah, and you can
So they
see how
put
the
the
wall
embed in
flares
here,
a
but
little
still
bit.
not. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, you can see how the walls flare out to meet the OLM.
Yeah, they slightly flare out. Very slightly.
We saw the embed put in here for a cover, but still no cover yet on these pipes. I haven't given up hope they're going to put steel down here yet, but for now looks like they're going to trial the fondag. But after the first launch, if they find the fondag gets torn up, I guess we'll see those plates get put down after all. But I'm going to hang on to that, just like I'm hanging on to that silly building getting gotten rid of. But so far, that's not happening, that building.
I'll do you a solid. BJ beat me down. It's going to be no plate, so with my luck lately. Ooh, and they fixed that lower corner.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, here.
That
Yeah.
weird, that wonky little corner, they fixed it. So I think that's a little bit more of an indication that it's not going anywhere soon.
They moved the
Oh.
antenna mast onto the roof by the air handlers.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Looks like it is staying. Oh, they got bollards and everything in here.
Yep.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
No, I'm starting to think that now.
The vertical shells with all the steel reinforcement would have words with you, Ryan. When they put all those I-beams on for one flight.
Well, or should I say this? Should I let me rephrase this. It's not going anywhere soon.
I mean, this
But you
actually
also
makes it
then
look like...
you then have to give it. Then you have to give a definition of soon.
Right. But the more works they do on it actually makes it look like it's, they'll pull it out sooner.
Yeah.
Like, why are we spending all this money on this blasted old building? Okay,
You're giving
which
me
is a
hope.
primer? Which is a primer and which is a finish coat?
When did they fix that?
Yeah, and they put bog in there as well, by the look of it.
It's like,
Did
do you
we
want
just
gray?
did we just like miss that they fixed that? Because it was the same thing last week.
Oh,
and
they
the
started
building
painting
fund?
it last week. They painted a little bit more this week.
No. The little curve on that building.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fixed last week.
Oh, down in
Yeah.
here.
That was
Okay.
fixed 2 weeks ago.
Ah. Yeah, I quite often we do show and tells and miss stuff, and whatever shows we miss stuff, it's all good. It's part of the fun.
It was. Let's see here. 3 weeks ago, it was back on the 8th. Stand by. Yeah, back on the 8th, they had ground up the concrete on it. So yeah, did we like literally miss that for nearly for a month?
Probably. Totally on brand.
Back on the 8th of November.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were starting to break it up back then. Yeah, all the way
There you
back on the
go.
8th. Yeah, that's been fixed for a bit.
Oh.
It has been.
Yeah, unless somebody's keeping a crow square board, we tend not to go backward.
It's all good. Okay, so obviously this week the SQD arm's been put up. There's some pipe work on the ground. Where is it? Just down here? For the actual, to hook it all up. Where is it? Down.
Front of Marvin,
Where'd
right
it go?
there.
Oh, there it is.
Right on the...
Sort of pipe work there to hook it up to the swivels, to the tower. So that'll be ready to go soon. So they'll still need the extension before they can do any testing at this end. They'll still need to have the actual extension on, won't they?
Yeah.
And the QD plate and everything. So it'll be a little while before we see them
They're
purging these
also
lines out.
still, I don't know why, still missing a single methane pump on the ship side.
Yeah.
Still. Like,
I know where they could have found 4.
Right? I thought they were going to take
Slightly
one and
used.
just put it in. Slightly used, but no.
From the from the pad
The old one.
one's methane pump farm. Sure.
Hey, it's not used. It's flight tested.
It's flight
Flight
tested.
tested.
That's a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
Okay, that's Senti in chat. Sus. Okay. So, are there any questions going on, Matt? Matt's having another.
No,
emergency.
we are
Oh, there you
pretty
are.
light on questions, actually.
What's going on, chat? Where's all your questions? Usually got lots of questions for us.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, I do see one from Crane Man, sorry. What happens with the deluge water coming out of the weirs? Doesn't that run inside the pipe trenches?
Hang on. The water coming out of the weirs, these weirs, this is what we're calling weirs. Well, it goes to the launch pad. What's he talking about? Maybe when they finish, I'm not sure what happens. It looks like they've had water on the ground down there. I'm not sure what the question is, sorry. Where does the water go? Well, obviously to the launch pad. There's lots of questions.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll wait for clarification if it comes. One other one that I see is comes from Liam Edwards. Asks, how many clamps does Pad 2 have? And will Pad 2 have Raptor quick disconnects?
20 and no.
Thank God it doesn't have
Hey.
Raptor quick disconnects.
They sort of do. They're on that ring manifold along the shaft of the booster.
Yeah, they're booster side now instead of but they still have two quick disconnects that connect into a manifold that then go to the booster, then they go to the Raptors. So it's different.
Yeah. They're in spirit, okay?
In spirit.
The question here about booster's transfer tube. It was used as a methane landing tank. How can it be used as a landing tank if it's open at the top? I think that comes from how the ship landing tanks. So the ship landing tank and the booster landing tanks obviously very different because their flight profiles are very, very different. Where the booster doesn't sort of have full horizontal flight like the ship does. So it works fine because the booster pretty well stays. Well, upright's not the right word. Upright as far as G-forces go while the engines are running.
I think maybe Stephanie, I'll jump in real quick and add
Sure.
maybe a little more to that one. So really, it's about having a fluid column above where you're wanting to pull the propellant from. So if they use the full like 9-meter tank and it's near the end of a burn, that fluid level is going to be pretty low. So if there's any splashes or sloshes or whatever, you may end up with certain areas that don't have sufficient fluid column above them, and you wouldn't want to pull propellant from that area. So with the new transfer tube design, we're still unsure if there's really like any sort of a dome or some sort of a partition inside of that thing. It may be a lot lower down. We just haven't seen it yet as they've only, cut part of it away. But that tube, even if it is completely open on the inside, there's still a sufficient fluid column there, even by the time they get to the boost back burn, where you're going to have a significant amount of propellant and it's going to be contained in a smaller diameter. So if there is sloshing, it's not going to be as bad as if it was a lot shallower and a lot wider of a tank. So that's kind of probably how they're able to get away with that.
Excellent answer. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got some.
We have clarification for Crane Man's question. So just to reiterate what the question was, he says, "What happens with the deluge water that's coming out of the weirs? Doesn't that run inside the pipe trenches?" And his clarification is, when the deluge ramps up, a high column of water comes out of the weirs for a short period. That's the water he was referring to.
Oh, I mean, those trenches are closed. It's sort of like when it rains. the water comes down. So however sealed those top plates are, I'm assuming is accounted for. That sort of, but don't know.
Yeah, like you said, no, what you said's exactly right, Alex. It's and that comes up quite a bit here and there. What about water here, water there? But you know how much it rains here at Starbase, Texas, right? It rains when it rains here. It rains a lot.
And the ISO fault and purge fault is wide open to the elements too.
One thing quickly we did notice, I think this is the first time we've had the right angles, that the roofs on the gas generators are actually mesh and not actually solid steel.
Oh, what Ryan was saying, there's that overhead shot where you could see the LOX landing tank and the transfer tube, and they're fairly similar in diameter as well. The overhead one.
Both should be about 3.
I think a couple. That one.
They had two. That did actually notice that they're very much the same size. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very similar in diameter, so yeah. Thought that would be a good illustration to his point.
Okay, so have we got any more questions?
Yeah, Gary S. McDermott is asking, is there a retention pond for runoff?
Yes.
In spirit.
Yeah,
I
just
had to
don't
make
look
the
on
joke.
either. Yeah, just don't look on either side as a flame trench, where
Where the water actually exits.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's why I said there's one in spirit. It's for SpaceX to check a box. That's literally what it's there for.
Hey, they
Having
put a
corner
curb
here,
in
yeah.
now.
True.
Yeah.
They did put a curve.
Yeah, I mean they've modified it from already, so they are
I
trying.
didn't realize that was quite that obvious. Actually, now you say that,
It is,
right in
like,
line.
Oh,
Have you
Yeah.
like? It would be hilarious to see the deluge fire while flying, because literally you would just see an enormous amount of water just shoot off into the wetlands. That's all you would see. Like,
potable-ish water.
ish. Some of it would go into the retention pod, sure, and some of it would sit inside the trench, but a ton of it just spills over out into the dirt.
So
Yeah,
the rain does fill the trenches and the vault with a bit of water, but as far as I know, there's a pump, at least in the vault here, they pump the water back out again.
Should be a sump, but yeah.
Yeah, down in there.
Yeah, the amount of water that ends up in that retention pond is kind of. Don't know how they get that much there.
Because the system works better than you guys are saying.
Yeah, if you look at the erosion after any of their tests,
Yeah,
it's
Like, even just now, just look at the erosion. You can clearly see where it's run off with the amount of tests that they've done. It's funny.
Yeah,
it won't be quite so bad with the launch, I guess, because a lot of water will be. I mean, not once the rocket engines start. I guess there'll be a lot of the water will be turned to steam. Still, there'll be some, obviously.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how far the deck water sprays.
While we're on
Yeah,
the
that'll be
subject,
fun.
Spacey Plum is asking, are there any less restrictions on how often they're able to use the deluge with Pad 2?
Their 25 launches have been approved.
so.
But
Yeah,
are there
pretty
any
much
like
all the.
restrictions on testing or any of that kind of stuff, or they just can do what they want?
They more or less can do what they want. It looks like they've modified part of their licensing.
As far as water reuse, the verbiage isn't 100% clear, but now notes that in one area it says they use potable water, then they also say that the water that's captured from runoff is used on site for rocket operations. So It's a huge enough exception that lawyers could have a field day with what exactly that means.
Yeah.
John T suggests the water will help the wetlands wet. Or keep the wetlands wet.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like a small thunderstorm.
And plus, it's potable water, so a bit of the water doesn't really matter going over there anyway, I guess.
Totally.
The door, oh, there, the door. The door's over there, still ready to go on. They painted this door. Matt, do you want to have another little promo of the Christmas live stream, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for anyone who didn't hear earlier at the beginning of the stream and came in a little bit late, we are going to be doing our yearly, it's fourth annual this year, St. Jude's fundraiser stream, and it's going to be on December 21st. So, we have a pretty stacked lineup so far. We are going to have Lab Padre joining us. Scott Manley is going to join us. Tim Dodd will also be joining us, and we have a short video package coming in from Marcus House, and we're hoping to get some more people as well. So it's going to be a really cool stream. So we really hope that you guys show up and come and show your support and hit the like button and all that fun stuff. And yeah, we're looking forward to doing it and seeing you guys.
Okay, before we sign off, I guess we, well, yeah, hit the like button. Before we sign off, we should quickly go over to the ASU site. If I can just find it.
Plus some of the other support sites like Rio West and stuff, if you'd like to hit them real quick.
It is. So they've poured a slab on top of all that we saw last week. Still not really sure what these are. We can see these down here. Now they're in here. Looks like they're actually in the concrete. Let's keep an eye on that. This shot's better. Yeah, this one was better. Whoever this Jude is, that's St. Jude's Hospital, yeah.
That is a funny one, though.
I'm not sure who St. Jude actually is. Someone should know that. I'm not really into that. So yeah, we've got a new slab happening over here, which looks pretty substantial as well. They don't mess around with these slabs for these sort of plants. And some styrene, perhaps, to put inside these. And some more boxing or formwork. Sorry, you guys like to call it formwork. We call it boxing, whatever. For over here. Over here, they're starting to put some more formwork out for a slab over here. Oh, sitting on piles. I see the piles you're talking about, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the ASU unit. Yeah, we can quickly have a quick look around at Rio West. Hang on, it's over here of the Massey's folder.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to clarify real quick. Yes, it is going to be on the 21st of December for the St. Jude's stream. And yeah, the normal time of our usual Starbase Weeklies is what we're going for. So it'll probably be 12 o'clock Starbase time, just like we usually do.
Thank you. So Rio West is, yeah, as we expect, to starting to finish off houses over this side now. What's it called? The restaurant here.
Chompy or something.
Oh, it's a funny, weird word.
Chompies, I think.
Chompies, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Is that a chain? Is that like a franchise, or is that just a unique name? You guys got so many franchises over there.
Yeah, as you see up top there, they are starting to work on the road extensions to make this place double the size. So they've been doing a lot of clearing and work on those road extensions over the last couple of weeks.
We saw a bit of that a lot earlier in our building down here, and they only sort of got to here and stopped. But yeah, okay, so yep, they're going to double the size of Rio West. they're clearing up here too, perhaps for something else too.
That was a crazy bike track.
Yep, you can actually see the ramps and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Was what, a motorbike track?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you see those little half pipes right where your hand is?
Oh, I see the steel ramps. Yep, for the aerial,
Uh-huh.
aerial jumping.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, we checked out this site earlier. The steel site, I think we've got a photo of the steel sites here too. Let me see. That's the one at Brownsville. So it's sort of, there's obviously a lot more steel to get delivered. They're not actually dwindling supplies yet. I thought we had one of the other site too. Hang on. Yeah, this site
The one
here.
on Highway 4, yeah.
Highway 4 site. Still got plenty of steel in it. Oh, not the ASU. Yeah, I was going to show the ports.
Look
Where
at all
is
those
that?
stairs they have.
The ASU equipment over here is still the same as it was, so it hasn't moved yet. And we're at time. We can wrap up if there's no more questions or any other sites you want to see.
Yeah, we have a couple quick questions that came in right here at the end. From 231 Micro. Is it possible to put heat tile on top of the boosters to protect the tank from Starship's Raptors?
Well, they kind of have in a way. Where's that shot? They put double plates up there, or they put plates on top. Just gotta find the photo again. 1 minute. So there's already something there to help with that. Obviously, they think that that's enough, and they're, as Zach pointed out, they're not symmetrical, which may have something to do with tipping the booster over the correct direction during the flip maneuver for the booster.
And the tiles are fragile and wouldn't survive the Raptor exhaust.
Absolutely.
Peel right off and probably do more harm than good.
Actually, there's two layers.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there's actually two layers of double plate up on top.
Yeah, and it's definitely for where they expect the most dwell time.
And of course,
During the
Alex, at
flip.
the rarefied atmosphere at the height of staging, there's quite a lot of expansion straight away. The blast isn't necessarily like, it's not like a takeoff where the blast is pretty well directly down. It's already
Completely,
fairly well fully expanded.
completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different dynamic to the actual launch mount. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
once the molecules are in free flow, they're out of the. After last collision with the surface, it's kind of pointless.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, and we got another one from Crane Man. Is there any sign there will be CH4 storage for Starbase at Brownsville Harbor Industrial Refinery terrain? It could save a lot of long drives for the tanker trucks.
The new LNG plant.
In the later submission, they're planning on putting a liquefaction plant at the launch site.
Yep.
Rather than trying to pump the liquid over and tank it over, because that site isn't really equipped for any of those sorts of operations.
Yeah, that LNG plant is basically equipped to load large LNG ships for exporting liquid natural gas to likely Europe.
Yeah, it's be like trying to, I don't know, pick up your delivery from the port rather than a logistics center. It's not happening.
out here somewhere, isn't it? The liquefaction plant. So another question I sometimes have is: do we know how refined the methane is from liquid natural gas?
It
Highly
all
refined?
it all depends on when you're doing the fractional, when you liquefy it, how pure you want to get it. I mean, it's all natural gas. I mean, all natural gas just has a few other impurities that haven't been stripped out.
Yeah, I understand natural gas is mostly methane, like quite a high percentage of methane. But my question sort of is how much do they refine it for the Raptor engines and so on?
I don't think we know what actual purity the Raptors need.
Yeah, cool.
Not
Do you
that
think
I
those
don't-
questions will end? That's a good question.
Yeah, the only other
Come
one
on.
is a fun one. As we know, like in previous years, anytime it's been anywhere near Christmas, they usually roll something out with like some Christmas lights and blow ups and stuff. So the question is, do you think we'll see Christmas lights on B-19 when it goes to Massey's for testing, or do you think it won't be ready before that?
Be close-ish. We're one side or the other. Maybe, yeah, I don't know about that. That's only like, what? That's only like 3 weeks away. Yeah, I don't know about that. What do you reckon, Ryan?
I mean, if they get it ready, sure, but I don't think they will. We'll see.
I mean, if they roll 18th aft on the stand back, we'll probably see a booster move this year.
There you have
Sorry.
the official word from Alex there. Very good.
And can we have a question that would, get Ryan and I to humorously spar over something silly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Fully expect, Joe, yeah, I agree. Fully expect some sort of SPMT Christmas parade like they did. Was it last year they did that? Just had the SPMTs.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, that was when they went to roll out. Oh, what was it?
That was great.
It was S33. It was booster 14 and S33. Was it S20? There was also one with like S28 at one point where they put like a bunch of Home Depot like
Blow up Santa.
like figures up on it and whatnot. I remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was 28.
So when they're going to liquefy gas here, Alex, where's the actual gas going to come from to liquefy? They'll bring a pipeline in or something?
Yeah, they'll pump it in on a pipeline from Brownsville. I mean,
Cool.
probably nothing more than like a 12-inch pipeline would have sufficient volume.
So, quick question for Alex and Ryan. Well, what will the dominant color be of the lights on the rollout this year?
Well, since they're not rolling anything out this year, black.
Yeah.
There was
No,
a question
you were
earlier
supposed to
about
fight.
there was a question earlier about expanding land out here that I think Alex answered. It's come up again about what sort of time frame we should see some expansion here at the launch site. You want to just address that again quickly, Alex?
They're still fairly early in the process. I mean, the public comment period ended a while ago, and there's usually 6 to 9 months where that gets reincorporated, and then the draft one comes out. And Brian, the 39A, it takes a full 18 months. Do you remember?
For what specifically?
For the Starship 39A, or 37 actually, it's gone faster, I think, than 39As.
Well, there was a little bit of delay because of the government shutdown. 39A is actually taking a little bit because there was an issue or something, and they went to extend the public comment period, and then the government shut down, and now they're gonna have to. I don't know when the new public comment period ends, but for both of them, they've used just about all 18 months, as far as I can tell, because it's usually what an EIS takes.
Yeah. And this one might take longer because concurrently they're setting up a land bank for managing the land you trade for paving over some of the wetlands, and that is very early in its process. I don't even think they've opened public comment period yet for that.
Guys, quick question about those little mini hot dogs. Yeah, hopefully they disappear and they replace them with a couple more of these big tanks.
Right.
Anything else, Matt? With that, or we might wrap up the show.
Yeah, that's basically everything.
Well, thank you, Matt, for all your work today with the pushing the buttons and turning the knobs and asking the questions and promoting our Christmas thing, and also obviously creating the intros and the outros. I don't think people realise that's something else that the producer does, and actually takes a bit of time to do that in such a very short time to do that. So I really appreciate your work there, Matt.
It is my pleasure. I am happy to be here and happy to be part of the community.
And Ryan Webber, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate your input as always.
It's a pleasure as always. Always fun to come on here and talk. And it was a slow week, but still a lot of fun stuff going on.
Sure, and quick shout out to our little cameo appearance from Ryan Hansen. Thank you very much, Ryan, for jumping in. I really appreciate you answering those couple little tricky questions that I always rely on you sort of be able to answer. So thank you very much, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
And Alex, as always, it's a very much pleasure having you on the show, and I really appreciate your time and knowledge. I always learn every time I have a conversation with you. I always learn something new. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, until next time, hopefully Ryan and I can be a bit more feisty.
Matt also organises our schedules and rounds up all the guests and wrangles us into submission and gets us on the stream on time. So I appreciate Matt doing that as well. And of course, obviously, thank you to the RGV aerial photography team for getting images to us, and which is amazing. Every week we get these images. I think I've remembered to thank everybody. So how's it go? Most engines cut off, separation confirmed. Love you, bye.